Hello, welcome to the channel. This is our first ever video. As with most first videos, it's not the greatest, as you'll see in some parts of the image quality. Today we're building and painting the Adeptus Sororitas Imagifier. This is my second army in the world of Warhammer 40k, and I figured why not start with her. What this channel will be is not necessarily a how-to or anything that hasn't been done before. I am simply showcasing my love for the process as time goes on, and hopefully my skills will get better as well as my video editing. Put her together, I'm just using a Citadel plastic glue. I find it works best for quick builds and staying off any rough edges from the cutting. I'm using the hooded version instead of the helmet version, only for the cool factor. And honestly, she gives off the more of a nun with gun look with the hood. But we're just about done putting her together. After this, I'll be using a matte black spray paint. I don't use the Citadel or any other fancy spray paints like that just because they cost like 15, 20 bucks each. So I just go to like any hardware store, like Lowe's, Home Depot, Meijer, whatever. Just get like a cheap $8 can. So now we're gonna start off with the robes. These are the three colors that I chose. Start off with the corn red for the inside of the robe, just a little darker tint. The Fiston red for the outer robes. That's gonna be my base, and then I decided to try Evil Sun Scarlet to dry brush on top of the Mephiston. Honestly, after doing this, probably would have just done the Mephiston, or sorry, Mephiston, the Evil Sun Scarlet as my base, just because how bright it is. All right, so this is kind of where the video starts to lag a bit, but I use Ushabenti Bone as well as highlighting with some Screaming Skull for the statue that she's holding. Turns out I didn't really like the look of the Screaming Skull afterwards, so I just did another layer of Ushabti to bring it back. And that's what it looks like. So now to the armor. Just like most, even though we spray painted it black, I'm still gonna do an Abaddon black for the base. Just kind of gets rid of any shininess that the spray paint might have had, even though it did say matte. So we're gonna spray paint black, do a highlight of Eshin Gray, and do a last highlight of Celestial Gray. I know some people for black armor they tend to use like a blue. I just honestly don't really like the look of that, so I stuck with lighter tones of gray. All right, so I know it looks like I skipped a step, but the recording got lost somehow. But for the details, I used a white base and used none other to bring up the edges for the gold. Then I painted a rifle corn red, did a leather with a basic dark black. For the metallics, I used Retributor armor and then Iron Hand steel. Yeah, so she's basically all done. Now we're gonna start the base. Starting off with use a technical paint called Agrelin Badland. Honestly, I could have put this on and called it a day, but I wanted to test out different mixes. This is generally the only painting section of the whole video. So yeah, so after doing the basic amount, like basic layer, you can see me doing like a little bit of a stabbing here. It just kind of like brings up some texture, kind of like the dirt's piling up around her. Also, kind of fill in some gaps as well. All right, up next, I use Doom Bull Brown, which is the same brown that I used on the leather holding her rifle, and then Morphing Brown. Honestly, I could have went without the Doom Bull because it made the base too dark, which is why I then highlighted it with the Morphing and then another highlight of Karak Stone, resulting in basically a slightly darker version of the technical paint, which is kind of what I was going for. Honestly, later on, I plan on getting some dirt from my backyard and just gluing that onto bases. Gonna be as real as you can get it, honestly. All right. So while you're watching this, basically, I'm just gonna say, ugh, get rid of that. And I know what you're thinking. Painting from the pot directly, then putting onto the mini without a wet pellet. Trust me, I know. My wet pellet is currently in the basement, which is being remodeled, and it's tucked away deep in the middle. Um, but I normally do use it. Uh, every time for this process, for this model, I would drench my brush in the water cup and then dry that out a little bit and then put it in the pot. Then I'll add my layers like that. But for the next video, for sure, water pellet will be out. All right, and here she is in all her glory on top of the base. You can see I tried to make an attempt with the cardboard box background to kind of bring her up. And there is an image of her at the end. All right, thanks for watching.